So if I would give you $1 million in the end of the year when you are healthy, you would probably try it out, right? But here's the thing. When you are an entrepreneur, you know that health is important for your business, right? But still, you don't do it, and still, it is hard to do. And in front of me, I have 7 simple things, or basically taxes, you pay every single day you have in your mind that hinders you from getting healthy as an entrepreneur. So, after this video, I hope you will get healthy and you have a reason to be healthy. Let's start with point number 1, and that is called incentive mismatch. And by that, I simply mean that you don't see a correlation between your health and your business. Easy. As an entrepreneur, you know your input creates the output. So that means, I don't know, when you close a call, when you have a new client, you get money from him. So you focus on this to earn money. But with health, you don't see the output for your input that correlates with your actual goals. And your goal actually now is to create the goal or to reframe health and being healthy in that way. Whenever I sleep long enough, I am ready to work longer, more focused, and make more money. Whenever I eat good food, I have a sharp mind, and when I have a sharp mind, I can do and invest more in my business and make more money. When I exercise, I feel physically good and mentally sharp, and that means I can be more productive in my business. You need to reframe your mind, okay? Reframe it and literally understand that the brain fog at 2 to 4 p.m., that, I don't know, irritability, sorry, not German, not, I'm German, not US, sorry. And for example, drinking coffee in the evening disrupts your sleep or is not normal, and it's not good for your health. And people, billionaires actually, like Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, look at them now. They look phenomenally healthy because they understand that they need to prioritize the health because it has the highest or one of the highest leverages in their business, even though they don't actually work on the business. Because they give you the most important thing besides time that you have. That is personal energy. And when you're unhealthy, when you don't feel good, you don't have that. You can't think clearly and you can't make the right decisions. Simple. The schedule. Tax number 2 is literally schedule entropy. You schedule your meetings, you schedule your workday, but why don't you schedule time for your health? Why don't you schedule sleeping time? Why don't you schedule meal time? Why don't you schedule exercise time? That is it. You don't have to do anything more like that. Especially as an entrepreneur, knowing when to sleep is pretty easy. You probably most of the time have in your calendar, your work time, and then you have free slot for evening. Then you mark that as the evening, I don't know, for example, you call it girlfriend time or wife time or brother time or family time, something like that, or lone time, or I don't know, hobby time, something like that. And then the rest that isn't, really scheduled is your sleep time. So you schedule your sleep time. Then you schedule your exercise time the day before, like you do it with every single other task when you don't, when you want to exercise. Same with your meals. You write down in 5 minute blocks or only 5 minute blocks when you want to eat what. And that's it. That's the whole plan for a new day. And I promise you, you only now do these 2 things, phenomenal for you. Phenomenal. The number 3 is the stress inertia. And that literally means that when you have this cortisol spike, when you sleep 4 hours, 5 hours, you, even though you have these obviously bad traits, you feel productive, you feel good, you feel sharp. But let me tell you something. That is only a defense mechanism, a survival mechanism of your body. And the problem with that is people think that it's normal to only sleep 4 or 5 hours, to not exercise, to eat junk food, to be overweight, even though they have business, even though it's stressful. Of course, we all know when we have a business that that's the most stressful thing to do, or when you are a high performer, that it's normal to, do that, but actually, you hurt yourself, you hurt your body, you hurt your longevity, you hurt your psyche, you hurt your physical environment. And I can tell you this, when I built my company, it sounds strange. I, as a biohacker, didn't sleep more than 5 hours a day because I want to work every single second. And I was a psychopath at that time. I was close to psychiatry, I was close to real hospitalization, to real, you know, take care of me because I took it to the extreme. And when you are, now in the state of mind, you say, oh, I only need 5 hours of sleep. No, you don't. Let me check your blood markers, and I can see that your cortisol is elevated, and that means that you have chronic stress, and chronic stress reflects with bad decisions, with actually feeling overwhelmed with anxiety, with all these negative things, because your body is always in this fight or flight state of mind. That's the only reason why you make bad decisions, because you are not free, you are not in a safe zone, and you are not able to think clearly because you are in the fight or flight and your primitive mind is active instead of your cognitive frontal cortex. And for example, someone like Jeff Bezos, who whose time is worth, I don't know how much money, 1 hour worth of him, 5, 6 figures, right? He sleeps 8 hours. He sleeps 8 hours, and you say you don't have time. So when you don't prioritize your sleep, for example, that actually is the number one thing that helps you when it comes to lowering your cortisol. With now that combined with a consistent sleep schedule, it would be so much easier. But most of people don't do that. But maybe you will do it now. I hope so. I really, really hope so. I did these mistakes, all of these mistakes, and it was hell. It was real hell. The fourth one is decision fatigue. I told in step 2 and 3 that you write down in the evening what you do the next day, and I hope that is normal for you. And most of times, even though I work with 7 to 9 figure entrepreneurs, most of them only schedule meetings and nothing else, and they kind of write down, work on, I don't know, sales team. That is literally what they write down. And the problem with that is it is not precise and concise and actually straightforward. So what that means is when you don't know in the evening exactly what you want to achieve tomorrow, you will not do it. That is literally how it works. We as entrepreneurs, as high performers, we need to understand that working on the number one thing means to be precise so your brain can, prepare while you sleep and you know exactly what to do, and the friction, this friction, this doing the painful work, it's lower and lower, and you actually do it and achieve it. So be precise about your action, and then you don't have the decision fatigue. And when you have a big decision, now a whole different story. For example, you need to decide something outside of your business or inside of your business decision that has not to do with your task, but with future planning. Then I would recommend to you to schedule this and write it down and actually block the time. And in the end of this time, 1 or 2 hours or 3 or 4, I don't know how long it will take for you, you need to have decisions. If you don't have decisions, you don't move forward, you don't go on and check this, and you will need to work longer. That is simply how business works. Number 5 is only for the people who travel, especially from Europe to America. For example, next year I will do I visit a lot outside of Europe. I currently live in Europe, for example in US and all of that. and I need to experience jet lag. And a lot of my clients who are in America or in Europe or in Asia, manufacturing and something like that, you have jet lag and it's not good for you, and you know that, and you don't do anything for that. So if you have jet lag, I will make a complete video about jet lag. I'll write it down after that video. That I want to make a whole video about jet lag because it's important, it's valuable, and it will help you to work heavy, but it needs to be done. Jet lag work needs to be done. And now think of this: you don't sleep properly in general, and then now you have jet lag. That means your body is still on this survival mode, and now jet lag, another stressor comes. What do you think will happen? Well, your body tries to survive this stage, then you travel back, and what happens to most of people who travel back because of jet lag? They got sick. And you say, oh, that's because of the diseases there, and it might be the case. But let me tell you this: most of the time it's because of this high stress, and your body is in complete fatigue. That is literally it. So keep in mind that this is important. Text number 6 is the social default. That literally means that you might actually do things in your life that is impacted by your environment. And what I mean that, for example, is maybe you start smoking because of your business partner. Maybe you drink alcohol because of your employees or because of your spouse. Maybe you watch late night TV shows. By the way, I love TV shows, but not in the night when I have to sleep. But when you do this, it's all because of the impact your environment. You need to remember, sustaining this, shiny objects, these cool pleasures, this short gratification is hard, even though you do it on your own. And when you now have someone, little devils, just ordinary people who are in your environment, you want to be good to them, you want to share time with them, then you do the activities these little demons they do, and you say, yeah, it's okay, I can treat myself like that, it is only one day. And I can tell you this: drinking once a month 2 glasses of wine will not kill you. The dose is the poison. That is with everything, it's all about the dosage. It is all about it. So be mindful about that. But let me tell you this: a lot of bad influences might not only come from you, especially when you made your shadow work. I talk about shadow work and mental reflection every time. And especially when you know yourself, then you are not your enemy. Actually, the environment, the people that you let in your life might be. So maybe you reflect on that and look at things, at negative things. You might have now something in your mind that is caused by some of your peers, some of your family members, some of you, maybe your family, someone like that. And the last one is something I actually learned in the early days, and I love this, is systemization, clean, and notification. Basically, what that means: my phone is empty. I have nothing on my phone here. When you see this here, sorry, oh my girlfriend, here's no notification, and I am in sleep mode, and I am on the brick. So I told you I have some device that's called brick. It is just a physical device where you plug your phone and all of your apps are shut down. That's the reason actually why I have my phone here, because when I didn't have this device, I actually put my phone in the car. Same with the desktop. My desktop is completely clean. I have no applications, no app here. The only thing I have here is the Finder. I'm on MacBook. Google Chrome, Google Calendar. Now, obviously, I open OBS and I open the script, and then I have only 5 folders with books, YouTube stuff, Majesty, my company stuff, with Loom and follow-ups for the outreach and sales team, and hiring stuff. And that's it. It's clean. Nothing there. Nothing there. And in the Chrome browser, I have all the, you know, all the things cleanly structured here. You know, I have Slack, School System, Stripe, DocuSign, ChatGPT, all of these things structured all in one place. And I keep all of these things clean. And the more you cut out, the more distraction, the more noise you cut out, the more you can channel this into focus. The real deal is, you know, to stay here, you want to go there, but there is always distraction pulling you here, pulling you there, pulling you there, pulling you there, and then it takes actually 5 months instead of 1 week. The real deal is to go there. And you go there when you shut this all out, understand what you want to do, therefore you frame health as an actual tool, and then you execute based on the rocket, on the fuel, and the fuel is your deepest inside darkness, pain. We are fueled by negativity. For example, I'm so desperate with health, maybe because I got bullied, because I was overweight, because I had cancer, because I had asthma, because I can't see clearly, because of all these things that I had. My my uncle died early, my grandma, my grandpa, all of these people died early. My father is anyways, it is all because, you know, I have things and insecurities that drive me forward. And you need to have insecurity, focus, and goal. And then you execute. And that's with the health. So I hope you enjoyed this video. See you tomorrow. Love you all.